Wedding season is among us. You might be going to one this summer. I'm not going to one this summer. It's fine. I'll be all right. I found a video that should hype you up for the wedding season at a concert.
I love you. I've only met you for a week. But will you marry me?
What? She says no, dude. And by the way, if I'm going to propose to anyone, I'll tell you where it's not going to be. At your local band where 7 people are in the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, friends? How y'all living? Welcome to another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another installment of the San Francisco Bay Area's most absurd podcast. I said it. All up in them cheeks, Joey. Short stroke king Jiggity Joey is back in his house for Riz house, my Briz house. By the way, I'm so sorry that if you hear little freaking children in the background, I can't do anything about it. Why? They're my neighbors and they're outside. And I have single pane glass windows. So that's my life. You know what I was thinking about earlier is so I never put this together when I moved into this apartment. And one thing about it is my area, if I get off of the freeway and head towards my house, there is a lot of new development going on in my area. So I'm driving down the main road and I'm like, wait a second. There are all these brand new apartments going up and I live past it. Like I live in a completely different state. Might as well, dude. Oh my God. I'm driving past all these apartment complexes that are just going up brand new, probably worth freaking $5,000 a month. Unbelievable. But then like 2 miles down the road is my neighborhood, which is like, yeah. Dude, hey, after I realized that shit, I was like, wait, all right, that's got to be the most humbling thing ever, okay? So embarrassing to myself even. Oh my God, imagine telling that to somebody that you were like, you met at a bar or something. Dude, no, imagine that though. Like if I was single, let's say, or like whatever, and I went to the bar and like, you know, you're trying to like spit game and whatever, and then you get in an Uber with a girl, and then you're in the Uber and you get off the freeway and she's like, wow, you live in a really nice neighborhood. And you're like, don't jump the gun there, sweetheart. We ain't even there yet. And then like literally 2 minutes down the road, you're just in fucking Bummy Vale, dude. Oh man, you got like mattresses on the sidewalks. You got freaking Indian food smell. I mean, good Lord. You got guys unnecessarily peeling out in their Dodge Chargers again, dude. I said this like last week or something, 2 weeks ago maybe, on the podcast, where guys around my neighborhood are literally just peeling out for no fucking reason. Dude that just moved in like starts his car and just like lets it sit for a while to warm up, I'm assuming, but then he'll get in it and just fucking dude, even my penis shrinks when I listen to it. I can't stand these fucking kids outside, man. I really can't. It's unbelievable. But we're going to get through it, dude. We're going to power through it. So anyways, we're back for another week. It's a little hard to be jokey this week because, you know, it's always hard to freaking mess around and be silly goose vibes when something crazy like that Texas shooting happens, you know. But that's what that is. In other news, guys, I got to tell you about one of the most wholesome things that I like literally experienced in my entire life. So when I first started going to my gym, there was a kid in the parking lot just skating. Like he was just skating in the parking lot and he looked really young. And I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. I love that the kid skates right here, blah, blah, blah. And there's like an apartment complex next to my gym, I think. So I was like, oh, maybe he's just a kid skating in the parking lot. So I saw him maybe twice before, but I pulled into the gym parking lot and this kid was skating in the parking lot. And I keep my board in my trunk in case I just see like the sickest spot, right? Can't let a sick spot go to waste. So I keep my board in my car, and I pulled into the gym and I pulled into the parking lot and I was like, dude, this kid's skating. Why not just ask him what's good? You want to play skate or something? You want to jerk each other off? So I sit in my car, I drink my pre-workout, I'm getting all jittery and I get like the scratchy scratches, right? And I was kind of like building up the courage to go up to the kid. And when I say kid, I mean he looked like he was in like his later teens. I'm not just some guy like, oh my God, there's a child skating. Let me go be friends with him. No, it wasn't that. I swear to God. I swear, dude, I swear. So this kid, I'll say this guy, okay? I say kid because he's younger than me. But I'm like building up the courage to go say what's up to this dude. And I'm like, in my car drinking my pre, and then I get out finally, and I just walk up to him. He's just skating, doing some tricks, and I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And I was like, I introduced myself, and I was like, dude, I have my board in my car. You want to play skate? Like, fuck it, And pretty much like how I talk on this podcast is how I talk to just people in general. Like, I'm not shy. Like, I'm not a shy person, but I literally just went up to him and I was like, what's up, dude? You want to play skate? Like, fuck it, right? And he was so down. And it was so like, it brought me back. And it was just like one of those moments where, I don't know, it was really strange to me. Like, in the moment, it felt awesome because he was so down. And I learned his name and like, I asked him how old he was, and he's 20. And that's why I say kid. And I just thought it was such a cool moment for skaters, like, cause at least I do on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, like you see a bunch of people where it's like skaters versus Karens and this and that. And every now and then you come across a video where there's a skater and like somebody random comes up to them and just like kind of like makes their day or something. And I'm not saying I made that kid's day, but that for sure made my day. And it made probably my week because first of all, I never initiate stuff like that. Like I'm always joking around about how I say like I hate meeting people and I don't like to put myself out there. But when I do, I'm never like nervous about it per se. So we start skating. Dude, I am an old man now. My joints literally took a trip to Uganda. I tried this fucking guy for his first trick to start off skate. Now, if you don't know what skate is, it's basically horse in basketball. So he does a trick, I have to do the trick. If I don't get it, I get the letter. So he starts it off with an ollie. And I fucked it up, dude. It was so embarrassing. But here's the thing. I haven't skated in forever, dude. My board literally has dust on it. It's crazy just from being in my trunk. So he gets on the board, does an ollie, and I'm like, bro, you really gonna disrespect me like that, dude? Come on. I'm elderly, but I'm not that elderly. I fucking mess up the ollie, and dog, I was so red. It was crazy. So then, we just continued skating, and I wanted to get into the gym. Like, my pre-workout was like really kicking in, and my pre-workout gives me the little tingles. So at a certain point, my fucking heart started palpitating, and so we played SK and the number 8. Usually it's SKATE. So this fucking kid just mollywopped my shit, dude. And the craziest part was that he was landing tricks that took me years to land, and he said he'd been skating for 5 months. I was like, bro, are you the next Nyjah Houston? Because if you are, then take my contact information, because if you're going to be that good, you're going to become friends with Nigel, and I want to meet the guy. Okay. I mean, if there's a guy that I would want to kiss in my life, no homo, is Nigel Houston. Are you serious? And I never talk about skating on this podcast, but dude, I love skating and I follow so many skate pages and I just love it. But to get back to what I meant about like it just being strange, or not strange, I don't know how to explain it really, but going up to a kid who honestly, since it's been 5 months for him, he's probably not even experienced something like a fucking Karen or getting into it with the cops and this and that. So that's fine. But like when you're like a skater like I've been in the past, it's just so cool to have that interaction, you know, like at the skate parks back in the day when I was growing up, like at least me, right? Like there would always be a guy at the park that you just idolized. And I'll even go as far to just name drop right now. When I was growing up at my hometown gym, or not my hometown gym, when I was growing up as a young skater in my hometown skate park, there was one skater that I just idolized. Like I just thought he was the baddest motherfucker. And his name is Andrew Lange. And this guy, I mean, dude, every time I'm at the park, he's at the park. He's there before I'm there, and I leave before the guy. I mean, from sun up to sundown, this dude's always there. And when he's there, he's not sitting down. He's fucking like just constantly on the board, landing every single trick in the book, textbook. Like literally just bolts every trick, super clean. He had the most stees ever. And he got big. Like he ended up, dude, I think at one point when I was in high school, he was in the fucking like X Games or something. Like no bullshit. And I'll never forget my first encounter with this guy because I looked up to him so much and I was just like flabbergasted. And I was a little kid at the time, but I was in middle school. And at this point, I mean, I just thought the dude was such a badass. And he came up to me, and he's probably like, he's a couple years older than me. Probably, I would say like 5 to 7 years, maybe older. But he came up to me when I was a little kid at the park, and I just loved the dude just from how badass he was. And he said that I reminded him of like one of his friends who's a skater, and his name is Vincent Alvarez. And he's a skater for Lakai, back at the time, I'm pretty sure he was. It was either Lakai or like a Nike SB or something. I can't remember. I want to say it was Lakai, which are the shoes that I wear. But I remember he said that, dude, and I just fangirled so hard. Oh my God. I remember that. I mean, it stuck with me till, this long. That's just one of those like moments that you have as a kid. That's just like a memory that will never go away. And it's not even like, it's nothing too crazy, but at the time it was like literally like special, and it just felt like so cool. And that encounter with the dude from the gym when I was playing skate with him, I just like had like this flashback of memories when I was a skater. And I was like, dude, this has to be one of like the coolest experiences ever to me. And hopefully, not that it was anything to that guy, but for sure to me, it was like really dope. And I just miss those days, dude. It really brought back like a ton of nostalgia from just being such a young guy, or like a young kid, and skating and just not having a fucking care in the world about what else was going on in life. Like people have this perspective about skaters, how like, and this is not like, I mean, when you're in like a high school setting and you have the skaters, right? They're not like the cool kids on the block. They're like the outcasts in a way, or anyone that's in action sports. So I think that like, shit like that is really cool. And I miss it, dude. I totally miss it. And also, while I'm on the topic of skating and all this stuff, I do want to mention really quick that next week's episode is with one of my literally first friends I ever made when I was a kid in first grade. My buddy JR Jen, He's going to be on the podcast next week, and he is now gotten really big into the Vegas poker scene, which is going to be pretty interesting to talk about. So if you have any questions about poker, if you listen to the podcast and you're curious, send me a DM at the Juicebox Podcast Instagram so I can ask him while he's on here and give you a little shout out or whatever. But other than that, yeah, we're gonna dive into a lot of stuff that I have planned in terms of literally skating. If you're interested in the skate talk, like we'll probably have a little bit of that. And then I'm curious about his venture in gambling because it's a big deal, dude. I mean, like, that's what he does. Like, he doesn't have a day job as far as I know, and that's just what he does. That's how he makes his money. He gambles. I mean, playing poker is gambling, but like from what I understand, he's very good at it, which is crazy to me. So I just have a couple of questions that I'm curious about. So if you guys are interested in that, that'll be cool. And that'll be the next episode. Plus, it's been forever since I've had a guest on. The last guest I had was Jason for the episode 100, which was 16 episodes ago. So it'll be a nice little change, and I'm pretty stoked for that. In other news, oh, dude, really quick. This is so fucking funny. It's just so weird. So I want to say Thursday, my girl and I, we were going to dinner, and we were trying to go to a restaurant. And we get to the restaurant, and I park, and I get out of the car, and I'm like, sometimes when I'm just like walking into somewhere or just walking whatever, I'm just thinking about random shit. So we're walking in, and I turn around, and I like go to reach for her, and she was like, someone's yelling juice box. And I'm like, what? Hold on a second. And sure enough, I hear someone yelling, Juice Box Podcast. And dude, I'm dead ass serious. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And she is like, yeah, it's coming from over there. And I look, and this guy is like, hey, do you remember me from Chico? And I start walking towards the guy, and he asked me that. And he's like, do you remember me from Chico? And I'm like, no. Dude, I felt like such a dick. I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, wait, what's going on right now? And so I get up closer, and I recognize the guy, and I met this dude in Chico like in 2014. And it clicked right away, you know, like at first I didn't quite remember his name, but when I saw his face, I was like, holy shit, dude. I mean, it looks different. He's got like a full beard now. And I was like, oh my God, what are the chances? Because this dude, he moved from Chico to San Diego, lived there for a while. And then all of a sudden, he now lives down the street from me, which is unbelievable that happened, that I got to that restaurant when I did. And I was like, how did you see me? Because from where I parked to where he was, I could have just been another Mexican short guy. You know what I mean? Like I was like, how'd you notice me? He's like, dude, I don't know. I just saw you're just there. And I was like, what the fuck? That's so funny. So shout out to Andrew. I don't know if you listen to the podcast. I mean, I'm assuming you do. You follow the page. So if you don't, cool, whatever. But if you do, much appreciated, dude. I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, even though we know each other, I'm sorry I didn't quite remember you in the beginning. It caught me so off guard. And I'll tell you, we didn't end up going to that restaurant because the wait was forever. So we were driving to another restaurant, and I just had like the biggest fucking smile on my face. And my chick was like, you're blushing right now. And I was like, I know, dude, that's fucking cool, man. But enough of that. I'm not fucking celebrity. I mean, they didn't, the fucking restaurant, we had to wait forever. So I ain't fucking, nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, dude, that was a really cool like moment. It was cool that like, you know, he remembered me, you know, like that was cool. I mean, it is what it is. Cool guy, man. Really nice dude too. From when I first met him, I just remember him being hella funny. So good to see you again, dude. If you're listening to this, stay stoked, stay juiced, stay hard until you're a nice woman. your fiance, stay fertile. You know what I mean? I say that every episode. I'm not being weird. You know, I say it. I end every episode off like that. Stay hard, stay fertile. You never know what's going to happen. So guys, really quick, last episode, I was talking about the documentary Our Father, who's the doctor that was telling parents that were suffering from infertility that he would find them donors, but then he ended up using his own sperm. I was talking about that one, and then I mentioned another documentary, and I can't believe I remembered to do this, but I did. And I was talking about a documentary that's coming out on June 1st, and I think it's the Daily Wire original doc. So this one is just about like the gender shit, and this dude goes around asking people questions at like rallies or whatever the hell they do. They're little protests and bullshit. But we're going to watch this trailer. It's like 3 minutes, but when I tell you, if you're a person that just like, you know, okay, if you support LGBTQ, that's great. And I do. But when it gets to a point where they're trying to cancel my favorite comedians or they get outraged over stuff that like should be okay to joke about, because let's be real, if you can't joke about yourself or laugh about yourself, I mean, what are you doing? You know, like you should be able to laugh at yourself. Now, I understand that with something like transgender or gay or whatever, that it can be hard and you might not feel comfortable in your own skin quite yet. But at a certain point, like if you really are who you feel like you're claiming to be, at a certain extent, you got to just own it, you know? And learn how to take a joke. And sometimes people outrage over the most vanilla jokes, and it's just like, whatever. And it might be a little insensitive that I'm saying that because I'm just a guy, and I don't know what that's like at all. But, you know, I have my own flaws. I have my own embarrassing things. Now, I'm not saying that being a trans is embarrassing, but, you know, like I have my own things that I'm insecure about, right? But I learned to laugh at them because, let's be real, the judgment's going to come regardless, and I'm aware of that. So the best thing I can do is learn to just laugh it off. And if I can make fun of myself, then no one can really make fun of me and like have it hurt. You know what I mean? So like at some point along your journey, right, you got to just fucking learn how to laugh at it, okay? To a certain extent. All right, let's watch this.
What is a woman? Can you tell me that?
Walking around with a sign that says, "What is a woman?" during a women's march.
Well, you're at the Women's March. You must have some idea. Please, if one person could tell me what a woman is.
You are not here for women. We ask you to leave.
What is that?
I'm a husband. I'm a father of 4. I host a talk show. I give speeches. I write books. I like to make sense of things.
A woman is not anything in particular.
There is not one particular thing.
It could be many things to many people.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
I like scented candles. I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm a woman?
That's a great question.
You're not a scientist.
Okay,
not a
hold
gender-
on. That chick, some women have penises. He's like, how do I know if I'm a woman? And she's like, that's a good question. And she's so genuine. Oh my God. Hey, really quick though, just like a side note, how like that lady, that girl right there, when she's like, it's a really good question. The genuine smile in her face is admirable to an extent, because it's like she doesn't understand what's happening right now. She's just for it. Like she's just like she bought into whatever spiel that he said before, and she's just with it, dude. She's ready to go. She's ready to help him along his journey. I just love that. I bless that woman's heart, dude. Literally so pure. You could see it in her face. So go check out the YouTube and leave a like too, by the way.
Studies major.
No,
How do you know that you're a man?
I guess because I got a dick.
Can a
OG.
man become a woman?
I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
Same girl. Women. The guy right now just said, can a man be a woman? And he's like literally within a tribe, like a different continent. Like, I don't want to get racial or anything, but it looks like Africa.
Only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is? You want to tell us what a woman is?
Walks off.
I'm a biological woman.
that medically transitioned to appear like a male. I will never be a man.
And so they go on the internet and they're told that all of their problems will be solved if they become a man.
So you worry that there could be a sort of social contagion element of this?
A teeny tiny bit, maybe.
It got me at 42. Your child doesn't have a chance.
And you're affirming it with hormones that have never been used in this way.
Puberty blockers, which are completely reversible.
Completely reversible.
One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview.
You don't want to talk about the drugs that
Guess
you
what
give to
color her
kids.
hair is.
How can they be removing the healthy breasts of 15-year-old girls?
Oh,
there are
God.
masculine girls. There are feminine boys. What are we going to do about
Jordan
that?
Peterson,
Carve
let's
them
go.
up?
How can this whole thing be happening, Matt?
I wanted us to have a safe place to be able to talk about this.
Part of me wants to ask why you care so much.
I care about the truth. I care about children. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them.
Is it transphobic to tell the truth?
The interview's over. Let's turn off the cameras.
Excuse me,
Well, they're fair question. I just wanted to know, what is a woman?
and you're not going to find out.
Based on what I'm saying, would you ever want to move to America?
Brad.
They say no, never.
Oh my God, dude. What is a Woman? The documentary coming June 1st.
I hope you enjoyed it a little bit.
We'll see when it comes out.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, where do you go from there? Dude, I mean, I think this documentary is going to be great. I think one of my favorite things about documentaries, like when they happen, is when the person just totally unmics, like takes their mic off and just walks off. Because, well, first of all, it makes for great drama within a documentary. I mean, that's like a movie scene in and of itself. But when you have something as polarizing as this, now, I don't know, I would probably assume that people who walk off of documentaries like that, or like walk out, because like I would say like 2 or 3 people in that trailer walked out of the interview. And I think it's hard to say why. First of all, it would probably be because they don't want to be a part of something or be seen on the screen, which too late, you already signed the fucking release. So they probably don't want to say something that's going to backfire onto them once it comes out, or they don't want to be a part of something that's kind of like a mockery of something like LGBTQ. That's what I think. But I mean, I could be wrong, and I just think that it's going to be so funny. And I guess the whole premise or the whole point is just to kind of get information on that community and figure out where are your heads really at, and can you back up all the quote unquote science that supposedly goes into this. So I don't know. I just think it's fucking hilarious, and I think it's going to be a great documentary. Now, with that being said, I did like what he said about the fairness to women, because let's be real, bro. I mean, I've said so much shit about women on this podcast back in the early days. Now I got to kind of refrain a little bit, you know what I mean? But you know, I totally feel that way, man. I've said it plenty of times already. Can't be doing this to legit women who fought their lives for shit, you know, sports, supermodels, you know, weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, all this bullshit. Like, you just can't do it, man. And we got to make sense of it. And this is going to be, I think that this documentary will probably be pretty fucking groundbreaking, if I'm being completely honest. But anyway, so what else has been the freaking sitch, you know? I am really bummed. I was really bummed last weekend that I couldn't go to EDC, because I'm an adult that lives in my own apartment, and sometimes priorities aren't fun. So it is what it is. But you know what I did see over the weekend at EDC was on social media. On social media over this past weekend, a lot of people were at EDC, right? And I saw a handful of EDC goers that were consistent goers complaining about people who are clearly not fans of EDC and are just there for the clout and for the outfits and for the hype, right? And I think that that's totally the norm these days, which, you know, like if you go to EDC, for example, and you're in the crowd and you're a fan of EDC, you can pretty much tell who's been there before and who's new for the clout, for the outfits, and for the hype, right? Like if that's, that seems to be the case with a lot of festivals now, which kind of sucks. And at the same time, I don't personally care too much, but I can totally see it. It's like when you see a person wearing a band t-shirt, like, you know, those videos where like a person's wearing a band t-shirt and a guy will go up to him and be like, name 5 songs. And they're like, you know, they'll be wearing like a Nirvana shirt and the guy would be like, name 5 songs. And they're like, all the small things. Like, no, bro, it's Blink-182. Come on. Shit like that, you know? And I think that it kind of like kills the specialness of festivals in a way. I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do. And, you know, like, let's say, like, for example, for me, like, I'd never been to Stagecoach the first time I'd gone, but I listened to country. At the time, at least, I listened to country. So I went and I had a fucking blast. But I'm also not an influencer, so it doesn't really relate. But, like, I feel like it does make the excitement for it go down a bit when you just know that a festival is going to be filled with people who don't know the music and are literally just there for the pictures. Like, I think that that's pretty annoying. But then again, I'm not going to sit there and just like be bummed and bothered by people that aren't really part of that scene. And by no means am I a part of the EDM scene. Like, I'm not, but I listened to plenty of it over the pandemic and I got really into it. So I feel like, you know, had I gone to EDC, it would have been fucking lit and I would have just been like another guy there. But I wouldn't, like, you know, those people who do shit just for the clout and to just say that they went to something, you know, like, and especially, you know, how influencers are when they go do something that's popular. And then they're all over social media talking about how, like, oh, I went to EDC and I was backstage at this and that. And then, like, they don't even listen to it. Like, what? It's just like a, you know what I mean? It's like a, I don't even know how to explain it. You just want to make yourself look tight and you just don't, though, you know? It's strange. But, yeah, dude, I'm bummed that I didn't go. I mean, I was going to go, I really wanted to go last year in October, but that just didn't happen, obviously. And then my friends went this year, and, like, you know, I was just at home playing Call of Duty literally all fucking weekend. But I do think that the specialness of festivals is like dying down from people who don't really listen to that kind of music and they go literally just for the Instagram posts. Like, gotta go to a festival so I can let everyone know on social media that I was there and they most likely weren't, you know? Like, dude, come on, man. You don't even listen to freaking Seven Lions. What's good, dude? You don't even listen to him, dude. And no, I think the worst, and I even did this once too, when I went to Audiotistic and I was witnessing just all the people on drugs. Now, was I on drugs? I don't know. Maybe I was. But it was my first rave that I'd ever gone to. And I was mocking everyone in the crowd so bad. And that's exactly my point. You know, at the time, that was before the pandemic, so I wasn't really into EDM. I only went for Juice WRLD. So I'm like just making a fucking mockery of everyone in the crowd at Audiotistic. So that's exactly the kind of behavior that you would expect from somebody who's not actually a fan of that kind of genre. And then they still go, right? And no one likes to be made fun of, I guess, but, you know, that's like the situation. So once I got into it and then I started experiencing it how they experience it in the crowd, i.e. such and such substances, I totally understood. I was like, oh, I feel like a fucking asshole because I made fun of these people and I had absolutely no idea what the fuck I was talking about. Now I don't want to get sappy and be like, oh my God, I fucking took acid and I just unbelievably connected with the music. No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, I'm saying I experienced what they experienced, and it is 100% understandable as to why people act the way they do at raves. They just are so carefree and have such a fun time, and it's unbelievable. Like, it's literally experience. If you haven't gone to a rave, and I'm not condoning doing acid, but if you haven't done acid and gone to a rave together, it's one of the most, it honestly is probably one of the craziest experiences. And not even crazy as in terms of like, because when people think LSD, they think like, oh, you're frying your brain, or like literally the word acid. I hate that they call it acid, and I hate that I even just called it acid, but LSD is what it is. So with that, people have this like perception of just it being a drug itself, where you like see a bunch of shit, and that's not mushrooms. Like, that's mushrooms. Like, psilocybin will have you fucking seeing shit that's just totally not there. LSD is like it's like a what's it called? It just enhances like your eyesight in a way where things like lights, like all the cool lights at raves, they like, if you see a laser beam at a rave from the stage, and if it's a straight line, the way you see it, if you're on LSD, will be really wavy. It'll be very vibrant and like look like it's just like shaking or like earthquaking. But it's really cool though. And the way that your brain is processing everything is like a way you've never processed anything before in your life. So it just like the experience of being at a rave when you get it and you understand why people are the way they are is unbelievable, dude. It's literally like, I'll never make fun of that again. And I'll say this too, for a group of people like concert goers or whatever, if I'm not into the music, that's fine. I'll never make fun of any kind of music again. And EDM, to be completely honest, was like the last genre that I was kind of like making fun of in general, because I didn't understand it really. I didn't get the hype. But then, like, you know, I think the pandemic had the craziest impact on my music taste, which led me to get into EDM because, you know, at the height of it, we were all just at home, bored as shit, like playing video games and jerking off 8 times a day and, you know, podcasting. And I'm like, dude, I feel depressed. Like, I want to party. Like, I want to have fun. And my roommate at the time was super into it. So we would have these little get-togethers, and our favorite DJ would live stream. So we would take my equipment, like my TV and my sound system, take it out to the backyard. We had like all this patio furniture set up, and we had friends come over, and we'd have lights set up in the backyard when it's summer, just straight chill vibes. And we would drop acid, and then we just sit there and just watch the live stream, and then we'd fucking talk for hours. Dude, just the party music vibes in the middle of the worst downtime of my life, of all of our lives. Any kind of excitement I was willing to take, and I took that, and literally the best experience of my entire life. And dude, that was in a house. So by the time I went to by the time I went to the first festival back in the United States, which was Ubby Dubby, this EDM festival, that was my first time doing acid in public. Let me tell you, doing that shit in your house on several occasions with your friends is like really fun. But doing it in public, it was like a whole new world. Literally, shout out Aladdin, dog. You know what I mean? I thought it was remarkable. It was such a fun experience, dude. I couldn't believe it. And, you know, is what it is, dude. You know, but back to my point about where this all started was the whole culture of festivals, EDC, Stagecoach, Coachella. The excitement from all those seems to just be dying because it's filled with a lot of people that just go for the hype. And, you know, I'm not going to let that, like I said, bum me out or make me feel a certain way about it. But over the weekend at EDC, you see all these posts from people like, why the fuck are they here? Like they're not even headbanging. They're not like enjoying themselves. All they're doing is being in the middle of the crowd and taking all the pictures. Like all the photos are being taken. Dude, Seven Lions just dropped the sickest beat and you're flexing your ass in your new fucking outfit. Like what, dude? And whatever, man. I hate to knock on shit, but like at a concert, I want to like, you know, enjoy it. And one of my favorite things about being at a concert is being surrounded by all the people who love what I love, you know? That's my favorite thing about concerts. And I talked about this with my dad when he was on the podcast. Like going to a concert, you go for the artist, right? But, you know, for me, I love to see how passionate the people around me are when like one of their songs comes on. My favorite thing especially is when I go to see an artist at a concert and they play a song that's not very popular, but you know it, and you know it word for word, and the person next to you also knows it word for word. So you guys are like the two people in your area who like just sing every word. And then like that happened to me at Outside Lands when Blink-182 played. They played the song Man Overboard, and that's not a very popular song for them, but I was so drunk and this guy was saying all the words and I just went up to him, I put my arm around him and we jumped and sang that song from start to finish. It had to have been like, for a split second, I thought I might go home with this guy. And your boy's straight as shit. So, I don't know, man. I love concerts, but I love when everyone's having a good time and not, like, just taking photos the entire time. Like, enjoy yourself. Like, you came here to at least have fun, right? Like, why? You're so focused on taking pictures and posting it on the gram. Like, who fucking cares, man? Just enjoy yourself, you know? So, whatever, dude. What do we got? Let's do a TikTok or two. Guys, I've been thinking about shortening up the episodes. Maybe making them 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know, this and that. I haven't fully decided yet, but it was either that or I'm going to take an indefinite break from the podcast. Just kidding. Scared you guys for a second. So let's do a couple TikToks and then I got to get out of here. What do we got? Let's start with this one. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me preface this one really quick. So wedding season is among us. You might be going to one this summer. I'm not going to one this summer. It's fine. I'll be all right. But I found a video that should hype you up for the wedding season. And I thought it was really wholesome. And I think that, you know, I like to spread butterflies to people. So this is special. Check it out.
This really happened at the end of our show.
At a concert.
I love you. I've only met you for a week. But will you marry me?
What? She says no, dude. Oh my God. Well, that's our show. They start clapping. Dude, hey. I've only known you for a week. Will you marry me? Oh my God, dude. What a kick in the dick by yourself. That is, I was about to say a joke that would be very bad timing. And I mean very bad timing. Holy shit, I'm so glad I didn't say it. You might guess what it is, but I ain't gonna say it, dude. Oh, it's so sad. So, man, dude. I pray to God that whenever I do propose to someone, that shit doesn't happen. And by the way, if I'm gonna propose to anyone, I'll tell you where it's not gonna be. At your local band where 7 people are in the crowd. No, dude. At least, at minimum, Denny's, you know? Just take her to Denny's, bro. It's quiet. you know, and it's private in a way. Like if you're in a booth, you know, it's just, you got the waitress that comes over and she calls you sweetie and she gives you your apple pie or whatever. It's between you guys. You don't do it at a freaking hometown 7-person in the crowd show. Dude, what are you thinking, my guy? Oh, the poor kid. But also, don't feel that bad. Oh, dude. That's so fucked. Okay, now, if you're looking for a video to send to your girl and you love her, I have the perfect video for you. Also, if you want to get her in the mood, send her this.
Hi, baby girl. I just wanted to wish you happy 7-month anniversary, babe.
Happy 7 months, babe.
I love you. You know that, right? I do. I love you so much.
Bro.
I love you more than there are all the hairs on every cat that Mr. McHugh owns.
No. What was that laugh? Stop it. Oh, dude.
If I had even an eighth of a penny for every time that you were on my mind, I would be richer than everyone in the world.
Holy shit. Bro, this kid's gotta go.
I love you more than there are all the snowflakes in Russia.
Hey, yo. Bad timing, you know what I mean?
I'm never gonna stop loving you.
All right. We can't keep doing this to my ears, and this is just unbelievable. Bro, I mean, I've come across this guy before in the past, and I can't remember what video it was exactly, but dude, this guy, he's a fucking kid, and he has a really big nose, and he has curly hair, and he's just like, he tries to fucking seduce whatever girl. Oh my god. All right, what do we got here? Here.
I asked these two white girls to record me.
Okay, show us what you got.
Stop recording me. Stop calling me the N-word.
Oh,
Stop. That wasn't funny.
Stop it.
No, I swear I wasn't.
Bro.
I believe him.
No.
Stop being racist, please.
I believe him. Oh, dude. Yeah, right. That's so fucking funny. Oh, my God. In this day and age, holy shit. Yeah, right, bucko. Okay. Last one. This guy, I don't know if you guys, if you listened a while back, I played a fucking video. This guy, he said that he was on drugs and his manager made him drive a forklift and he fucking crashed it because he's cockeyed. But this dude's a fucking menace, and this gotta be the funniest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
You want something educated? How about this? Sometimes, dude, I just spread negative energy into the world. Don't even know why I do it. I'll be at McDonald's. I'll get my food. They'll be like, all right, have a nice day. I'll say, shut the fuck up. McDonald's, bitch. Skirt. Pull out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my fucking God, bro. I think that's my friend Rob, actually. Shout out, Rob, you dumbass. Oh, my God. That's so funny, bro. All right, guys. I am quite finished, to be frank. So just to cap it off, I guess. I've had a couple thoughts of how I want to continue the solo pod, if I want to bring more guests on. The guest thing is really irritating though sometimes. But I've just been thinking maybe shorter episodes, you know? I mean, Instagram or YouTube has this thing where like it tells me when people stop watching, and then I'm hoping that they go listen to the audio. But usually people stop watching at about 30 minutes. And I don't know if that's just like, I don't know, whatever. But it would be a little easier to do that, and wouldn't be skipping weeks. So is what it is. We'll figure it out. But some things to consider, definitely. But with that being said, if you're interested at all, next week I'm going to have a podcast with one of my oldest friends. Literally, I think if you were to say, like, think back to the first 5 friends you've made, I would say he's probably my 4th friend I've ever made in my life. Like, actually. And it's going to be fun, man. I haven't talked to this guy or seen him in person since fucking before high school graduation. So stick around, check it out. We're going to be talking about gambling and shit. Love you guys. See you next week. Later.